We're taking a closer look at in-custody deaths in San Diego County jails. When Sheriff Kelly Martinez took office 3 years ago, she promised fewer jail deaths. And while the number has gone down, they're still happening. Welcome back. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Shanna Handy. Each year, the Sheriff's Office books about 60,000 inmates. And so far this year, there have been 8 deaths. Our Marcella Lee sat down with the sheriff for a look at what's changed and the challenges that still remain.
Since January of this year, 8 people have died while in the custody of the San Diego County Sheriff's Office. That's the same number of jail-related deaths for all of 2024. We invited Sheriff Kelly Martinez to sit down for an in-depth discussion about changes she's implemented in county jails to prevent more deaths from happening, as grieving families say more needs to be done to monitor and help inmates in medical distress.
So when she was arrested, I was actually relieved that she was in jail, for we felt that she was safe, that somebody was looking out for her.
Daniel McCarthy's relief soon turned to heartbreak and despair. Just 36 hours after being booked into the Las Colinas detention facility, McCarthy's 31-year-old daughter was found unresponsive, slumped over in her jail cell. Neither Narcan nor CPR could revive her. On May 12th of this year, Callan Lines became the 248th person to die while in the custody of the San Diego County Sheriff's Office since 2006. An autopsy later determined she died from fentanyl and MDMA toxicity. The medical examiner ruled her death an accident.
I was her father. I was supposed to protect her. I was supposed to look out for her. And in a way, I kind of feel that I failed. I didn't, she died.
While McCarthy takes responsibility as a father, he says the sheriff's office has a responsibility to keep inmates safe and families informed. As they process their grief, they are desperate for answers to fill in the missing pieces of Callan's final hours.
I would just like to get some answers. And then, like I said, when I went to that press conference, 10 other families that have gone through the same thing, they're not getting these answers.
Families just like his left with a huge void in understanding how and why their loved ones died in custody.
The worst things that can happen to a human being, happened to him. And I guess we have to go with that.
To get some answers, we sat down with San Diego County Sheriff Kelly Martinez to take a closer look at in-custody deaths. Here are portions of our interview. Sheriff Martinez, thank you for taking time to come here with us and have a frank conversation and being open about one big criticism of the San Diego County jails, which is in-custody deaths.
Right.
So in May, a 31-year-old mother, Callan Lines, she died after spending just 36 hours inside the Las Colinas jail detention center for women. We actually have a clip from her father that we'd like to play for you.
We felt that she was safe, that somebody was looking out for her, because I was always worried that, if she was out somewhere, I'd get that phone call that she died. I didn't expect it to happen while she was in custody.
So what do you say to the parents and the families who say they want answers as to how or why their loved ones have died while in custody?
Well, I think first it's important for me to acknowledge his pain. I mean, it's as a parent, I can't imagine, and going so long, not really knowing what happened. Part of what people don't understand, too, is when people come into custody, they don't lose their constitutional rights, which means they have a right to decide what medical care they want or what treatment they want, what they're going to tell us or not tell us. A lot of times people will come into our custody and not acknowledge that they have drugs in their system or what's going on with them. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Some of it, they don't feel safe. They've just been arrested. And are they going to tell the sheriff's office that they've been using these certain drugs or that they used drugs right before they came into our custody? We do provide medical care. We do ask how we can help individuals if they would like withdrawal medications, if they, we do consensual urine screening to see what's actually on board so that we know how to treat people. All of those things are offered. There's a medical screening at intake, and now we've added a doctor and a nurse at intake to do that medical screening. So we're doing everything we can, but it's important also to note that these individuals that come into our custody are adults and they have a right to make medical decisions for themselves. And then also enforcement has been a big key. We've stepped up the enforcement aspect of when we find people with drugs in jail where they're being charged. It's highly profitable to traffic drugs in the jail where they might be 60 cents for a fentanyl pill on the street. It's upwards of $100 in the jail.
What was the situation like when you took office, and what progress have you made in the last 3 years?
Hired about 133 more deputies. We've hired more mental health clinicians, more nurses. All of that's helpful, but we're looking now at how we identify a better structure of our health care system in the jail. Like I said, we've got a doctor now at intake, which is really nice because a doctor can actually interface with the community healthcare records, which before we didn't have that.
Since you became sheriff in 2023, there have been more than 27 deaths in our local jails, and the vast majority have died from drug or medical conditions. What is your response to that number?
I would like it if no one died in our jails. We're working very hard to prevent any deaths that we can, but we have a very difficult population as far as their medical needs and mental health needs, and we're doing everything to rise to taking care of those folks.
What do you want to say to the families out there who are hurting and feel like they don't have a voice and that they're not getting the answers they need about their loved ones' deaths?
Well, I do hear them. I do feel them. I understand what they're saying. We're trying everything we can to provide them the answers. I know there's a huge hole for them.
I asked Sheriff Martinez about the specific improvements she has made to help prevent in-custody deaths, from having physicians now at intake to having nurses do routine checks. You can watch my full 30-minute interview with Sheriff Martinez on our free streaming app, CBS 8 Plus, or on our website, cbs8.com.